Let me remind you.
There's no single. No, you can't remind me. Don't tell me what the chairperson of a land committee, a chairperson of Bosansa, that committee which...
I will remind you of a senior leader, or should we say former senior leader of the ANC, who's in jail right now, a whole leader of a party in the Northern Cape, John Block. He is in jail.
You know, he's not in jail, he's at home.
How do you know that?
He was released with corona. Is going to engage in self-defense. You don't know, what if I've got a black belt? Mawashi Geri. How do you know? Self-defense is not a gun. I'm going to defend myself, and you will see there that I can defend myself, and it is allowed by the Constitution.
I heard someone saying here, 1988, Malema was this or that age. That's a problem of ageist. You are an ageist of note, because whether I was 8 years or 6 years at a time, politically, if we were to compare what I have achieved and what you have achieved, you don't come anywhere close. You always hide behind the dress of your mother's credentials. You use your family wrongly for personal accumulation. And you always irritate us with your parents' credentials as if they are yours. They are not yours.
Point of order.
You have no credentials.
Honorable Malema, please take your seat. There is a point of order. What's your point of order, sir?
The Honorable Malema accused me of using my family's name for personal accumulation. He must withdraw.
Order, members, order. Honorable Malema, I did not hear a name. Were you referring to this honorable member?
Honorable Speaker, I never mentioned anyone. But if the shoe fits, wear it.
Please proceed.
Now, stop. You're too old, Chief. You're too old to be saying my mother, my father, this and that. Write your own history, which is going to be the ugliest history because of the side you chose.
Honorable
You
Malema.
will never have credentials close to your parents.
Honorable Malema.
You are nothing compared to your parents.
Honorable Malema,
Thank
your
you very
time
much.
has expired.
Thank you very much.
Are you not worried that you're somewhat holding South Africans at ransom? Some people on Twitter are really angry, saying that because of the EFF, you guys have actually halted proceedings, not even halted, but delayed proceedings for a very long time.
It is our right. They've got a right to be angry. We're not here to nurse feelings of anyone. We are here to do our job. We were elected to be here, and we are doing exactly what our people said we must do. This is not Twitter, it's Parliament. So we are dealing with issues here in Parliament, not on Twitter. We're not going to be guided by Twitter.
Are you planning to leave now?
We're leaving now. Yes.
How can South Africans take you serious, Mr. Malema? Just a few years ago, you were on a podium defending Pravin Gordhan against the former President Jacob Zuma, yet you flip-flopped now and you are against him and wanting him to be removed. How can they take you seriously when you have no particular position on him and flip-flop from time to time?
If we had enough time, I would have asked you to define flip-flopping, because you might have stole the concept from another journalist without understanding what is flip-flopping. When we were defending Pravin, there was no load shedding. He was not a minister of public enterprise. SAA was not closing down under him. ESCOM was not closing down under him. The political climate and the balance of forces have changed. They don't remain static. And for a political journalist, you ought to know that these things are not permanent. At the time Zuma wanted to persecute Pravin, we defended Pravin for principle. But now Pravin is presiding over a public enterprise. The conditions are different. If you were saying to me, you defended Pravin even when there was load shedding, why do you use load shedding now? Then I will understand. Therefore, flip-flopping, let's find a proper definition for it. I will buy you a dictionary. Are we done?
Honorable Malema, please proceed.
Now, Chair, let me answer your question on domestic violence. When I spoke here during the State of the Nation last year, I said, anyone who has never beaten his wife in the past 25 years must raise his hand. And I said, I can do that because I have no history of such things. I've never, not once, not my ex, not my wife, not anything, I've never laid a hand on my wife. I asked that question precisely because I got information that the president used to beat his wife, Noma Zizi, the late wife of the president. May her soul rest in peace. I raised that issue because I said to the president, you cannot lead the state against gender-based violence. If you have not accepted that a woman beaten your wife,
Order, point of order. Honorable Malema.
Point of order.
Honorable Malema.
On a point of order.
Again, you started.
On a point of order, Chair.
Honorable Malema.
You started it with the wrong person.
On a point of order.
This is the first one I'm saying on the president. I'm coming on 3 others. On him.
Honorable Malema, please sit down.
You started it with the wrong person.
Please sit down. Can you please respond to what I'm asking you to do? I'm asking you to withdraw the remark that has been made about the president.
Okay. Let me explain this thing maybe different. No, you don't want the truth. You don't want the truth. That's the problem. Now, I've said, and I'm prepared to withdraw. But I said, in answering your question, 1, I don't beat up my wife. 2, my lawyers have written a letter to Honorable Mamabolo because he repeated it outside. Why is that important? It's important because if you have nothing to hide, you must take it to court, Mr. Malema. So I've taken it. He must pay me 1 million, or else I'm taking him to court. He has received the letter to show that I'm not hiding anything about abusing my wife. Can the president answer the question? Did he beat his late wife? That's a question we must answer. Because I've been asked the same question in this house about my wife. The president has got a history of beating up his wife, the late wife, and I'm following in the same steps you have been following. You came here to start personal battles without knowing the implications of those battles. To fight like that, that's how we fight.
Point of order. Honorable Malema.
No history of abuse, the history of love. That's me for you. I don't have history of abusing women. I'm in love, I'm happily married.
Please.
I don't have
an
ex-wife that says I was beating her up. And for you to know the truth, your president abused his ex-wife. It's a reality. You can abuse power the way you want to abuse it. You come to me and you say to me, I abuse my wife. I give you the facts. Now I can't respond with the facts. That's your president. That's your president.
Honorable Malema.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not.
Your president ordering you to leave the house. You come to me. I'm not ordering you to leave the house. I answer you. I'm even telling you to court about it. To show I've got nothing to hide. President, you come to me with the nonsense, I'll give you nonsense.
Honorable Malema, please leave the house.
I'm not part of your fiction. I can leave the house now. The facts remain. Noma Zizi must rest in peace. She was abused by your president.
Leave.
Before Honorable Malema leaves the house. Leave.
Honorable Malema, please leave the house.
Let's take a look.
This lack of decisive leadership in the branches of the South African Natives National Congress. And I'll give you a context of why we're dealing with that, because once they launched the union on the 31st of May 1910, the Natives Congress was a response to that white-only unitary government. And if you check in terms of what the Natives Congress said in its first constitution, it was recognizing the British Crown. So the foundation of the ANC was recognizing and worshipping the British Crown. You must go and read for yourself, you realize that. It was also saying that we're going to be a mediation between black people and this white-only government. Maybe you are living up to your standards, because what you are doing now, all these things that you speak, you are just being a mediator between black people and the white capitalist establishment. That is what defines you. You are being truthful to the roots of the South African National Natives Congress. That is who you are. A mediator of relations between so-called natives and the white capitalist establishment.
It's a complete distortion that the ANC only allegiance is to the crown. Honorable Shibambo is not being truthful.
And there you have it, guys. Here we can see Shibambo's words of wisdom. He researched versus Lamola, who does not know the history of his own party. Shameful.
Your comrades, Mr. President, do not read. The reality is that they don't read. They read True Love magazine and Drum. When it comes to political literature, when it comes to reading the rules, they do not read. That's why someone stood up here and said, House of Rules. It's not House of Rules. It's now. Let's teach you. You know, when Samke, I like it because when you speak, you are so emphatic, and then you take a posture that suggests you've got a point, even when you don't have a point. you take a posture that, and that time you're not saying anything. You see. So let me show you why you are not saying anything. Nhlanhla Nene's son is not in VBS. Edward Zuma is not in VBS. The context is very important all the time. I'm saying to you, you are inconsistent in showing the faces on this matter. Yes.
I was in Limpopo last week. Daniel Caesar, I saw him at the True House yesterday. I spoke to him. I know you have his number, we can call him and confirm whether he spoke or not at the True House foyer. Florence Radzelani, her face has been shown. She was one of the two ladies who went up to congratulate Cyril Ramaphosa when he went to the ANC presidency. So what you are portraying, if you have not shown them as ENCA, I can confirm with you. Those people have been shown, and those people's names have been mentioned on my reports in that province. Thank you.
Again, you see, now you are somersaulting because I've dealt with your earlier example. I finished your example. Or the example on Zuma and Nene is not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about generalization. I'm saying to you, on the VBS story, you are not showing the, I gave you the people, Denim Caesar, Florence, and the mayors who are public representatives, who took the monies of people and sent it to VBS. Secondly, I'm saying to you, you're consistent because those municipalities are called municipalities, are not called ANC municipalities. Yes. But you have just recently said DA municipalities are engaged in a regular expenditure. When it comes to municipalities that are led by DA, they are called with their political party. That's what I was talking about. So, and then you show the logo at the back and all that. And I'm not saying ENCA. You see, I'm saying the media. I'm saying the media. So now, for you to stand up here and talk about ENCA as if you are the superior of all of them, when you are not even a quarter of SABC, I mean, what is that? No, I'm saying SABC, not SABC TV. Again, you are making another mistake, standing up confidently, thinking you've got a point, when I'm not talking about SABC TV, talking about SABC. Yes, so the SABC...
Joking. This is joking.
He wants to apologize. Yes.
It's a new apology. I'm joking.
So media, I mean, what do I gain from reporting Ranjeni? Because me and her were going to fight. Even when we leave here, we're going to call each other and scream at each other, and then life goes on. That's how it is. We have that type of...
She has no money.
Huh?
You're also claiming this unethical behavior.
Claiming?
Where?
That's what you're saying.
The Sunday Times says so as well. It says people were...
Yes. Okay, let's take the Sunday Times story, for instance. They've apologized, right? And then they've expelled Mzilikazi and the other one. Now, I'm more interested in our brother Mzilikazi. Now, those people that Mzilikazi and the other one reported wrongly, and they lost jobs, they lost everything else, what is the recourse for them? Well, and we are going to waste a lot of money. That letter I wrote to Kachalia costed me money. So imagine if I do that when I see busy, when I go Ranjeni, go Ferele, go Hashra, you are too many. So we must just continue to engage like that, until we find each other. We'll find each other. There is no way we can't find each other. That's how robust the debate is in our country, where we think that these comrades are acting in a manner that is biased. It might not be unethical. It might not be unethical, but it might be biased. You can hear that this one is pursuing a certain narrative, like ENCA did this morning. They were playing my video of the Youth League press conference where I was chasing out the white journalist. What you can see what they are trying to do. You can see what they are trying to do. So if you are going to have a headache about that, where am I going to report that? They are showing me the old picture when I was big and
Your business is our baby. Advertise on Southern Classic Media and reach out the masses. Call us on 0977 667168 or 0965 349194. Remember, advertising is not only an expense, it's also an investment.